So we are live. Hi, everybody. This is Brooke, and we are here today with a live lunch and learn with CLCI, Certified Life Coach Institute. And we're here with soon-to-be coaches, very, very soon-to-be coaches, soon-to-be level 1 graduates. I'm going to just go ahead and get started. For those of you guys watching, make sure that you leave comments, share, all that good stuff. I am monitoring. I do want to hear from you. And I am going to go ahead and get started. Let's get started with having everybody introduce themselves. We'll just sort of go around and just say hi. Also, while we do this, guys, I would love for you, you can just chime in whenever you want. If you have experience or if you have thoughts or know or want to share your knowledge too, please, I encourage you to do so. Join in. This is a group participation kind of thing. So I'm going to begin with Eileen.
So I'm Eileen Druckenmiller, and I live in upstate New York, and I am a licensed art therapist and then soon to be coach.
And next we have Tammy.
Hey everybody, my name is Tammy Moodlands. I currently live in the Memphis, Tennessee area, and I've lived all over the eastern side of the US. Thanks.
Nicole.
I am Nicole Phillips. I'm out in LA in Southern California, and soon to be life coach, bachelor's in human development so far, hoping to go into social work.
Very nice. Bianca.
Hi, I'm Bianca. I live in West Virginia, right near the Maryland border, and I'm going to be doing happiness coaching incorporated to a mental health practice.
Very nice. We have a lot of ladies here today. Next up, Carolyn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carolyn. I'm from Connecticut, and I currently work as a special education paraprofessional, and I'm soon to be a certified life coach.
Jen, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jen. I just left a 15-year career in marketing, advertising, branding, and for all the big tech companies in Seattle. Thank you. It's different branding yourself. And I'm looking to be a fitness coach. I'm also an ultra runner, so I'm looking to be a fitness coach for women over 40.
So just quick question. What makes you ultra?
So ultra running is not road running. Road running's fast, it's flat, and it's marathons. We are people who go on the trails, we have fun, we sing and dance, and it's anything over 26.2. So my last one was 31, my next one's 100 miles. Wow. But I'll have like 2 days to do it. So it's going to be a party.
That's crazy.
It's really fun.
I'm not somebody who runs.
You don't have to run. You can walk all of it if you want. You just have to get done in 2 days. Yeah.
I have done a mud run though, and I loved it.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah.
I dressed up in a prom dress, and we were all wearing prom dresses and suits, and it was so much fun.
That's what my 100-mile one is too. Yeah. The 100-mile is a party down in Scottsdale. Everybody dresses up in lights and pomp and tutus and everything. It's gonna be fun. Awesome. Yeah.
Angela, did you introduce yourself, Angela? Are you there? Is she I don't know if she hears me. So, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm doing a lot of things behind the scene. I'm sorry, but I want to stay in tune. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Angela. I currently live in Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm currently a registered dental assistant, and I'm looking to be a certified life coach.
You will be soon.
I will be. That's why I'm claiming it.
And Niels, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hello, I'm Niels. I'm from Germany. My wife is Nadine. She's here as well. We're starting a coaching business, and our logo was actually designed by a friend of us from the US. She's living in North California. Currently, I'm working in a business where I dump smartphones for law enforcement, but we want to go to helping people and couples and finding their better life, finding solutions for issues.
We spoke on the phone too before you signed up, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and I was excited to learn. Well, you and your wife are sort of going into she's going into relationship coaching, and you're going into a different kind of coaching, correct?
Yes, correct.
Mhm. We'll talk more about that. But is that everybody? Did I forget anybody? I think we got everybody. Oh wait,
You
one more.
got me.
Oh yes. Yolanda, hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm without camera, that's fine. So my name is Elena. I'm from Massachusetts and soon to be a mindset coach. I help people to lose weight without dieting.
Very nice. Very nice. Real quick, I want to say hi to Ernest and hi to Joe, who are watching right now. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching, and participating. We are, so what do you guys want to work on? Anybody can go first. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you have questions about? Where are you at?
Facebook advertisement, please.
Your pitch.
Agreed.
The elevator pitch or marketing in general.
I heard pitch, I heard marketing in general, I heard Facebook.
I have
Can we
one.
talk about, oh, go ahead, Eileen.
Oh, thank you. I have one specific question. So I haven't, let's talk about like the LLCs and PLCs, because I know Dan had said like, you know, you just have separate contracts for therapy and coaching. But then I was reading an article last night and they're like, you should have like a totally separate business name and everything. Like you shouldn't put them under the same.
That's my question.
What? That's your question? Would you put it under the same business name? Well, okay. So first and foremost, do you guys have employees, and are you making enough money to pay yourselves a reasonable wage?
The hope is that I would be able to. I haven't been using my PLC for like the past 2 years, really. And the thing is, though, in New York, it's a professional limited liability company, and it's tied to my license. So that's, I think, where the thing is a little sketchy.
So I know, and I can, so of course you're going to want to do your own research based on the state you're in. From what I know, and in California, I would hold off on getting the LLC and just do a DBA until you are actually either hiring an employee or making enough money to sort of pay yourself a reasonable wage, because you're going to, essentially what you're doing is, if it's just you, unless you file as an S corp, you're still going to basically be filing as a sole proprietor, even with the LLC. And so your tax break doesn't really come all that much, and you're just paying more. So now once you get to the level of being able to pay yourself a reasonable wage, which means issue yourself a salary, that is when I would incorporate and get the LLC at that point and file as an S corp.
So Brooke, I have a, oh, sorry.
Or when you get an employee, if you have an employee as well.
I just don't know what a DBA is.
What?
DBA? What's a DBA?
Doing business as. DBA is doing business as. So it's essentially, and you can get your business license, a DBA. You're saying that I'm an independent contractor, but I'm doing business under this name.
Don't you have to, can't you get a DBA with your LLC? Because I already got my LLC, but
Absolutely.
good. So I could change it and then, okay, thanks.
Well, and the thing is too, guys, one of the things we're talking about is there's a difference between back end and front end. So on the front end, and you can basically call yourself anything. You can go on I can go out there and I can say, okay, this is my website. It is X, Y, and Z. On the back end, though, if you are doing the business thing and all of that, then you're going to need a bank account in that business name. But these days, nobody's really writing a physical check. So people don't see that as much. So it's not as confusing. You're going to just sort of set that up with whatever your e-commerce is. So it's less critical than it once was, especially if you are a sole proprietor, or not a sole proprietor, an independent contractor, because it's all going to basically be in your name until you file that LLC, at which point then you'll need to get the articles of incorporation and you'll submit that to a bank, and you'll probably want to getting an EIN is always a good thing though. It's free. You might as well do it.
And they all do it for you. Like LegalZoom does it for you. Zen Business for $350 will do it for you. It's about $350.
EIN, they do it for free.
If you want to go through the application. Yeah.
If you just
really easy on the IRS site.
What?
I'm sorry, who does it for free?
The IRS actually will do it. Yeah, it's like $0 and it takes like 5 minutes.
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's it's silly. Like if you just sign into it's irs.gov and then you just click on the thing, as long as you're there between 9 and 5, like normal business hours, because they shut it down after, it takes 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
5 minutes. Yeah.
So having the DBA, and I don't want to take up all your time, but having the DBA, does that protect your assets and stuff, your personal assets?
So again, as far as protecting your personal assets, that is sort of, again, not going to come until you're really filing for that S Corp.
Okay.
Because you as an owner and a sole proprietor are attached regardless. So that extra layer of protection is kind of a bit of a fallacy until you get to another level, essentially, which is that, and that it's all sort of you no matter what will be linked. They're going to be looking at your social when you go to look up, or when you go and apply for anything, it will still be attached. So you're still going to be attached regardless. Even if you get your why can't I think of the name of it? I want to say it's mums, but it's not. It's the other business number that I can't think of the name of right now. Just killing me.
DUNS number.
The DUNS number.
Yeah, the DUNS number. Even if you get your DUNS number, you're still attached. It's also still linked. It really doesn't do very much until you get to these higher levels of business operation. So I wouldn't out the gate, I would do a DBA. And out the gate, I would do the DBA, I would do the EIN, and I would start working that process. However, there is an argument to be said. If you want a separate bank account, if you want your finances to be separate, if you want all of that to happen on a separate level, then I would file for that LLC. But no, with that comes cost.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to issue yourself what they call a reasonable wage to really benefit from the tax breaks that come with it, at least in California. Of course, check on that in your states. It may be different, but California, they like to tax us a lot. It's $800 a year. Just know that. Boom.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, though, I know the state tax departments are generally really great about explaining the differences.
Absolutely. There's actually, and I have a video, I posted it on our website, and I can share it with you guys again. There's a guide. It's a fantastic explanation. I think it was the simplest explanation I've ever heard of the levels and how to do it. And I'll share that with you guys. I'll send it in here. So, okay, did we cover that? Who's next?
Thank you.
Someone had asked about liability insurance.
So I have used Hiscox, Hiscox. I find they're fantastic, and they're reasonably priced. Also, though, one of the things I recommend you guys doing is joining the Freelancers Union. It's completely free to join. You guys are freelancers, and they have programs that will give you breaks on medical insurance, dental insurance, coupon, like all kinds of discounts and things like that. It costs nothing. And they also liability insurance. They have a discounted liability insurance on there as well. Also ICF, once you guys are, if you get even the 60 and you become a member. So if you get the 60 hours and you become a member, they have a lot of insurance companies they partner with that offer a very discounted rate for you guys. So it's wise. It's always wise to get insurance, in my opinion.
Progressive also does business insurance, and theirs is really great.
Progressive is actually paired with Hiscox, so at least
that's who I got mine through. They're great.
Yeah, I love Progressive as well. That's what I use them for everything. Actually, they're really,
they've been fantastic.
Yeah, I looked into Lemonade for some other things, but actually I've stuck with Progressive. They've really been the cheapest and the really just great. I love them. So
what was that name?
The Progressive, but they will link you to, at least in California, to Hiscox, Hiscox. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's who does all of Progressives. But Progressive site breaks it down really nicely if you're new to it.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just wise again. And I would go through, there's a discount. If you go through the Freelancers Union, you'll end up back at Hiscox again, but you'll have something like 10% or 20% off of your regular rates. So, and ICF has a similar system. And it's wise. It's absolutely wise, a wise thing to do. And it's also something that you should do is with every single client, use a contract. Just every single one, use that contract, get used to using that contract, have it be step one as contractors, because that's what you are, right? Is you are in many ways a contractor once you become a coach. And so you want to give that have that there. It's to protect you. And actually your insurance will ask you when you apply for it if you use a contract with every client. So all right,
That's
up
just
next. What?
It's also a requirement if you're using Hiscox.
Yes, absolutely. There's lots that will require it, and they will say no if you say you haven't. It's just better to protect yourself. Why not cross all those T's, dot all those I's, and really set yourself up to win, right? There was I always say, make sure we provide you with all the contracts and with everything we can, but always make sure that it applies to your state law as well, and it's all consistent. So who's next?
Can I ask about Facebook advertisement?
Yes, Facebook advertising. What, anything in particular, or just in general?
So just to share my recent experience, my business is 1 month old, so it's not very much statistics here, but I opened my group on Facebook and I started to advertise the group, trying to get more people there, going at a very low budget. And then it's interesting, they provide statistics and stuff. So I tried to play with different templates. I also was not hiring, but getting volunteers to test my program. So I also advertised about this. My question, and it's absolutely unexplainable. You can post 2 almost identical ads and one is working, one is not. So what would be your advice? Are you going on higher budget, minimal budget? You know how Facebook encourages you not to stop the ads that working because they say they have like self-learning mechanism. If you provide just general insight about what you know about this, what's the general recommendations?
Absolutely. I'm quickly going to say hi to Sue. Hi, Sue. Thank you for watching. As far as I would, okay. So the first thing when I'm hearing you share this, I want to ask you is what is your headline in your ads? What are you writing as your headline? And what is the name of your group? And then the second thing I want to ask you is what is the difference between the 2 articles that you're running that are having completely different reactions?
Okay, so the name of my group is the Weightless Zone, which is the name of my business.
Okay,
also.
so the weight loss zone?
Weightless.
Weightless, okay.
Right. And speaking about 2 almost identical things, we were running sugar detox challenge in the group, and I posted a couple of posts about this. I basically used boost the post approach, and I put the group link in the text of that ads.
So what you want to do is one thing I would recommend is first and foremost, be very deliberate with if you're putting money behind it, be very deliberate with what you're doing and how you're doing it. Know that your headline, know that whatever is written on that ad and whatever image, if there's an image in that ad, is what people are going to see first and will have a huge effect on return. And little nuances as changing the word you, they, little things like that can make the world's biggest difference in an ad. Also, big part of it, are you using custom audiences? Are you using lookalike audiences? That's a big, I mean, that is something huge that if you're doing in Facebook.
I am using.
Okay, yeah. Good, you are. Have you gone in and set those up yourself, or is that something that you had them do for you?
No, I did myself, and more than this, after that I saw about the demographics that reacted, and I tuned it a little bit.
So they have an automation now, and it's more recently where you can actually build a lookalike audience, and you can take basically through using Facebook Pixel, you can say, in the last 30 days, I want everybody who has clicked on my website or joined my group or gone, have made a conversion, sold, we sold something to. I want this audience to look like those people. the last 30 days, and you can build that out in your custom audiences on Facebook under business.facebook.com. There is a great benefit, and actually Facebook is fairly inexpensive when it comes to advertising.
Right.
But just be very deliberate. Instead of boosting a post, unless that post is one you've assembled, before we boost any of our posts, we go into the video, we put a thumbnail in it, because the thumbnail is something that will make the biggest difference in the success and failure of your post or of your advertising. People, the first thing they look at is that title and that thumb. And you want it to be emotional, you want it to elicit some kind of curiosity, and you want it to also speak to whatever it is that you are advertising or selling, or whatever content you have within it. What we're doing right now, this is a form of advertising for us, but you'll notice that we're also giving value back to people by giving them information. And that is probably one of the single best ways for you to market yourself, is to just get out there and actually show, tell, help, give freely to folks. And then that's how you're going to connect with people, because at that point they're going to establish a connection with you. And that is very important. Again, marketing is always about building trust. It's about building trust with your potential clients, and getting them to be curious and want to know more.
Can I share some experience?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask them too.
Yeah.
Can I share some experience I have or made?
Yes, please.
Okay. I have I opened like an Instagram profile, created at the same time with a Facebook profile, of course, same name, and a life coaching, of course. And so what I did is I'm creating my own. So I go to the internet and looking for license-free pictures. Some of them are really free, some of them cost money, and I phrase my own text to it. For example, like this one here. I don't know, can you see that? So this one is like, everybody can be successful, but success has nothing to do with luck. It's the will to reach your goals.
Yeah.
And I also we also do like videos, and this was like about partnership. And if you have issues with your partnership, I was writing a text, and they're fairly successful. Like in this partnership ad, I have like 25 likes and 51 bookmarks.
So now, what do you do once you have the likes and the bookmarks? What's the next step? How do you turn those into customers?
And that's a problem.
That's why I asked.
I have like a lot of hits in it, and that's the problem. That's why I'm asking, how can I transfer these hits? And at 51 bookmarks, it seems to be pretty good.
So, well, know that they will naturally begin to transfer if they can start to inquire. What is the link in your profile? Where does that take them if they wanted to know more? I mean, you're running an ad. If you're running an ad, you have a link. Where does that link take them?
No, the link is saying, please send us a message, and we go ahead.
Okay. Well, then, so there's a couple of schools of thought here. There's one, you want to make sure that line to get to you is the shortest one possible. So if that's sending you a message, then that's fine. That's sending you a message. If it's going to your website, then you want to make sure it's a direct line to your website. And you want to make sure, again, we're being consistent, that what you're posting speaks to what's the first thing they hit on your website, that landing page. And you want to give people not too many options, just one option everywhere they go. Just give them one option, because if it's more than one, you're going to lose people and they won't know what to do next. Everybody sort of wants to be told what to do next on the internet. They want it to be easy. Just click, 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 and one option. So the way you're going to do that is first to refine that path to you and make it the shortest and simplest and smoothest path to get to you and your services. The other way is you can start to reach out to them, and that is to go in and start to interact with those folks. If they like your profile, then you go into their profiles and you like theirs. You reach out to them, you comment on them, you respond to everyone who comments on yours. Social is about being social. So you have to start socializing, and that's why a lot of people do end up hiring managers, because it is a lot of work to do that. But that is what people expect. The reason people like like social media is because you get that interaction, and you get to interact with folks you would probably not otherwise interact with on a personal level. It is, however, becoming very inundated with a lot of people who are just reaching out and cold calling and doing these things. And it gets, I mean, I'm sure we've all experienced it. Once you guys become coaches, it's going to get like 100 times worse. Simply because for some reason right now, everybody is just, they are, there's just a lot of people out there that want to know that coaches are new and looking for business help. And a lot of them are sort of don't know where to start or where to go. And there's a lot of folks that are going to market to you and just do it out of nowhere. And they're going to ask you to join a group, and they're going to just know that. But also in knowing that, be careful when you do that. Make sure that when you're reaching out to people, you are being authentic and you are being personal and you actually care about who you're talking to. And it's not just some blanket sales technique. Be real. Be authentic on social, and don't be afraid not to be perfect on social. It's okay if you're not perfect.
Definitely not. I mean, we do like videos as well. So we talk
videos
about.
Are huge. I mean, the videos are probably because people respond just on a mammalian reptilian brain level. We respond to moving things much more than static. So if something's moving, it's like, ooh. Think about it this way. If somebody's scrolling through their phone, like they're just scrolling, right? Scrolling. It's mindless until something catches their eye. The idea is to break through the noise and catch their eye. And how you do that is to get to them emotionally. Hit that emotion or hit that curiosity, shock them, wow them, but ultimately it should enrich their day. Once they stop, there should be something there that is beneficial to them, that entertains them, that makes them think, that gives them information, that makes their day better. That just know that you guys ultimately are creating things that will, for other people to enjoy, to enrich their lives, or for them to benefit from in some capacity. And doing that establishes trust.
Brooke, I just wanted to add something really quick. This is great, but this is the field I just got out of, as I mentioned. So this is SEM. Basically, you're talking about versus SEO, right? Search engine marketing, I just lost my mind, versus organic, which is when it just comes out. This is a really, really complex field, right? Like Instagram versus TikTok versus LinkedIn, those are all totally different algorithms. I just work for Google advertising. They have a completely different algorithm. So maybe for people who aren't steeped in SEM, or like Elena has clearly already started her Facebook advertising, which you can get certified in, right? If you want, could you recommend to people, like, this is overwhelming, like, where do you start, right? Like, what's a basic? Mm-hmm.
Well, the first, so this is where I'm going to turn that back to you guys, because I don't have the answers, because everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Everybody's business is different. So where will you find your customer? Where is your client? Where are they at?
Your target market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is that ideal client, and where are they? Where will you find them? And it doesn't just have to be on social media. Where will you guys find your clients? So share that. I mean, throw some out there.
I mean, church, work.
I've noticed. Oh, go on.
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop. There we go. So how are you going to market at a coffee shop?
PTA, like flyers.
So that's why it doesn't have to just be social. Know that. Now, mind you, it's a digital age. There's a lot of digital going on there. But where are you going to, 3 rules, my 3 rules of marketing. I have 3. First rule is speak their language. And that means you're speaking your client's language, right? Second rule is make it about them. Make your advertising about the client, not about you. And the third one is go where they are. And those are my 3 main rules. So speak their language, make it about them, and go where they are. And that will help you every step of the way. So that way you don't spin your wheels or have all this energy. You know, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Clubhouse.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a lot of. So think about where they're going to be at. Think about who you're marketing to. Go there, and that's where you start.
And Brooke, I would also add to that, because as like with marketing agencies, what we advise newer clients or people who are a little overwhelmed, don't do what you're not good at, because you won't do it well, right? It's disingenuous. So if you're like, hey teens, I heard this TikTok thing is a thing and I want to relate to you, like don't do it. It's a mess. If you're a writer, blog. If you love visual, do YouTube, but don't try to do all the things all the time. Do what you're good at and you'll do it well.
Exactly. And when you get up to a point, you can't build those things out, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you just ask somebody to help you. We have on our staff, we have somebody who makes the thumbnail, somebody who writes the blog, somebody who it's a team effort. It really is. And mind you, it started with just me, but we have been able to branch out by virtue of that. And also know there are a ton of services out there that are vetted that will help you out as well. There are people, we have resources as well. So you can always reach out to us and we will help connect you with at least people we have had good experience with, or services that we had good experience with along our way as well. We are happy to share that information with you guys.
Yeah.
Who do you,
about 5 minutes left. About 5 minutes left.
how do you find where your target market is once you've identified them? How do you find it?
Who is your target market?
Like people in their 30s to 40s that are, let's see, I wasn't prepared there for that one. That are just looking for, they're starting that change in life, kind of that midlife crisis, asking those questions, starting to ask the deeper questions.
Okay, let's get really specific though. Think about that one client. Think about your ideal client, that person who walked in that office, that person. Where are they? What do they do for a living? Where do they hang out in their free time? How do they surf the internet?
Okay. I'll have to think about that.
So that's what you really want to get in the head of that person and start to think about what their needs are and where they're at and get to know your client. And that's why most of the time when we do an ideal client exercise, it's us, because that's what we relate to and that's what we know.
So Starbucks would be the perfect place for everybody.
What? Starbucks would be the perfect place for, you won't find me there, but
yeah, but none of that's going to work in a pandemic, and it's all shifted in this pandemic and the place that we're at, right? So wherever you live locally, you'll have local boards and the local Facebook groups that you're going to have getting active in those help, because that's going to, for me, at my target market is the same thing, like 25 to 50 people who really want to make a transition or transformation, right? And those are going to be the people that are going to be the parents that are going to be out, that are going to be active, that are working corporate world, and they've got like 5 minutes and they need to get in there, find the information and get out, right?
Yeah, well, and that's true of everybody though. Everybody really wants to get in there, get the 5 minutes of information and get out for the most part.
Right.
However, though,
but they're not going to be in my local town groups where all the parents are.
Yeah.
Right, because it's the parents, right? It's those people that are going to be the parents of teens. That's where my area is, that I'm,
What I want to say is don't discount local. Like you're saying, local is so good because it makes you a big fish in a small pond immediately, right?
I was about to say, the best advice I was given was let people know who you are, and then they get to know you by proxy. They will access your business.
Yeah.
My business didn't spend any money on advertising, and we made 120 grand this year.
Yeah.
Without.
No, I was talking about my local groups that are in the area where I live that have the people in the community, and just starting to show up and participate and give information. And then when they're like, who's that person? And then it comes to my page, and then they can see, because I'm just being a person in the community.
And that's exactly, and that's also, but what you're also doing is establishing rapport. You're also establishing trust, and you're establishing yourself as an expert when you're sharing that information. And doing those things will make people be more interested. And that's why getting out and talking, getting out and going and being active, because you have to be an active participant in your business and an active participant in your marketing, because that's, I mean, ultimately, you guys are the faces of your brand, and there has to be a face. There does. It just, people connect with faces, and you'll just do far better that way.
I'm curious, since it is the face that's important, are Facebook Lives a great way to net out locally to those people?
I mean, for us, it's a great thing because we can get into feeds we would not otherwise get into by doing a live. It's also starting next week, we will be streaming on more than one platform simultaneously, which will be fantastic. It's also a great way for us to just be real, knock it out, get it done. We don't have to do a lot of setup. There's a lot more forgiveness in a live environment than in a studio environment. So we can it can be a little more just real, and we like that for us. But it could be different for everybody. It doesn't just like Jen said, do what you are good at, do what you're comfortable with, where you are authentic and however, that's not to say you shouldn't push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, because you might find that you're really quite good at something and you had no idea. Test it. If it doesn't work, you can stop. It's not a failure. It just means you tried it, it didn't fit, next thing. We don't get muddied up with that. Oh, this didn't work, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Try something else.
Yeah, you pivot. Advertising is all about trying, testing. When I did it for General Motors, we would try 3 ads. What worked? What bought people more Chevys that month? Great. We're moving. We're shifting. Now we're going to do this. We're going to expand. So yeah, it's trying.
Keep in mind that things that worked a week ago may not always work.
Yeah.
Because your client is a person and people change. Marketing is a living, eating, breathing thing, because it's based on living, eating, breathing people. And so you have to be able to adapt and move with it and be on the pulse, you know?
Yes, exactly.
I also add that, the oldest marketing tool is word of mouth. If you're doing referral is, I guarantee, like, I know someone who did that. Jen's really great at this. Let me refer you to that fitness coach, or just vice versa. It's just a great marketing tool. Referral, testimonial, those are the ways you are going to find the bulk of your clients, because it's that I trust this person, I trust their opinion. By virtue of that, they now trust you. And so that's huge. Encourage it. Create network or systems that actually encourage it within your business, and you will, it will do nothing but good for you.
My girlfriend earned 6 figures, and all she did was she lost like a bunch of weight, went on Facebook and posted her before and after, and she does sell like a food system. That's all she did.
Photos are so crazy.
That was it. Yeah.
They get so much traffic. It's just like that and cute cat photos. Like
yeah. Or your story or whatever, but you don't have to go into advertise. I would just add that advertising is hella expensive, you guys. It will eat your budget in 2 seconds, especially like if you don't necessarily know what you're doing, you're testing. You don't have to have advertising right away.
Well, and that's the difference between organic and paid, right? And but it's a scale like this. This is the amount of work, and this is the amount of money.
Yep.
If you're not paying, it goes here. As your work decreases, the money is going to increase.
That's true.
That's just how it works. But that's why you start here where you're working a lot on it, but then you start to be able to make a little more, and then okay, I don't have to do so much with it. Now I can have other people.
That's true. You extend your reach. But you have to have the budget for that too.
And that's again why we start with you guys knowing it's a second job. This is your job. Yeah. Your job is to market yourselves now until you can get to this point, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So, all right, I'm going to turn it over. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
So much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you like, share, comment, and check out Certified Life Coach Institute. We would love to have you join us in class sometime. And thanks everybody in class.
Danke.
Brooke, can you hand me back control, please?